I start by adding 90 ml of water at room temperature, 90 ml of whole milk at room temperature, and 30 ml of oil. 2 eggs, half a tablespoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and approximately half a kilo of flour. Now 5 grams or half a tablespoon of dry yeast. Now just let the machine knead and rise. For those who are going to do it by hand, look how easy it is. You're going to blend everything in the blender up to the yeast except for the flour. Then you'll put it in a bowl. Add the flour little by little. It's about half a kilo of flour. You can use a little more or a little less. You add it gradually and knead until it no longer sticks to your hands. Then knead for about 6 minutes. Kneading is making movements with the dough. You're going to push and pull, push and pull. Do this for about 6 minutes. After you've kneaded it, you'll let your dough rise. Ideally, we should have a nice warm environment so the dough rises faster. That's what I usually do. I put a bowl with water that I just boiled inside the oven, and on the rack above that bowl I place the dough and then I leave the oven closed. The steam quickly helps the dough rise. Watch its appearance, not the clock. When the dough rises and is nice and full, it's time to continue the recipe after the dough has risen, whether in the machine or outside. We knead it a little to get the air out. And then we're going to make the balls the size we want for our hamburgers. Remember that these balls will still grow to at least double their size. It's important that you flatten the balls, make little discs, because if you leave them as balls, your bread will get too tall since it will rise in the oven. I'll let them rise a bit longer, about 40 minutes before baking. When letting bread rise, whether before or after shaping, we usually let the dough rise twice, once as dough and again after shaping. We need to cover this bread with something. If you cover it with plastic wrap in the bowl or whatever you made the bread in, the heat from the bread will create a bit of steam inside and it won't let it dry out. It's the same thing if you lightly dampen a dish towel. If you dampen it too much, it might stick. So just lightly dampen a dish towel and place it over the bread. This also keeps it from drying out and forming a crust on top of your bread. Now I'm going to brush an egg. I mixed a beaten egg with a teaspoon of water, just to make it more fluid and easier to brush. And I'm going to brush this egg on top of my little breads and sprinkle some white sesame seeds. I'm making small breads like mini hamburgers, but you can make them bigger if you want. Bake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees as oven times vary. I can't say how long it took since it depends on the size you made. Bread results can differ by 50 to 100% depending on your oven brand. In my oven for small buns, it's 18 minutes, but in yours, keep an eye on it. This recipe makes 15 mini hamburger buns or 10 regular sized ones. Do you know what's cool that I do with this bread? I already make several mini hamburgers with cheese, put them inside, wrap them in plastic wrap, and freeze them. Then, just leave them out of the freezer for 10 minutes and put them in the microwave for 15 seconds. Homemade hamburger. If you want my homemade hamburger recipe for freezing, comment below. If enough people ask, I'll share it. If you enjoyed this delicious hamburger bun, please like, thank you, and see you next video.